Welcome to Linda's TV show. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. Please, I beg you for this favor, click on that red button that says subscribe. Beside the red button is a notification bell. Turn the bell on so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be the first person to check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you who always come back to watch my videos. Like you know, I present news on daily basis to you. So after watching the video, you are free to criticize and leave your comment constructively. Share the video. Yeah, you can share it to your family, friends, anybody that you can, so that they themselves will be informed. Now I present to you another interesting or informative video which we are going to watch together. Yeah, I'm going to watch this video together with you. Then we'll come to the comment section.
Bag of rice is cheap now. They are now selling at 27,000. You forgot that it was 7,000 just few years ago. And what is causing all this problem? Because it is their nature. It is incompatible. We can never be one. The same thing that happened before Nigeria amalgamation is happening right before your own face. And when we talk about Biafra, you want to kill Samanapa. You say it is Nigeria because you have no knowledge about Nigeria, because you have no knowledge about anything, because you are a criminal and the only thing you are interested in how to steal money, how to be given appointment in Nigeria state, how you can phone money and loot and become rich. That's all. You don't care about anybody. But I'm telling you today that what led to this amalgamation was a conspiracy against the indigenous people, the Biafra people and the Yoruba people. It was a conspiracy. You can't deprive me the opportunity I have and pay other and use it to compensate another person. That is what is happening in Nigeria today. And that's what we are saying, is that enough is enough. A lot of things have changed. Not have had its own structure now, that they can actually be very comfortable with their own. And this is a different century that everything is digital. So North is going to progress this time around, unlike before. Once we exit Nigeria, they are going to sit up. But with this particular structure we have today, North can never sit up. They can never ever sit up. It is in their blood and it is in their nature. That's why Nigeria can never work, because they have occupied sensitive positions that could propel the nation to move forward, and they can never move forward because that is not their nature. So before you fight for one Nigeria, know the history of Nigeria. Okay? Know the history of those who you are calling Nigeria with. Know the history of those who you are addressing as Nigerians. Know the history, how they come. Know the history of their culture. Know how they run administration. Know how they run government. Know how they think their ideologies. Know everything about them so that you can know what you are fighting for. Some of the people fighting for Nigeria today don't know actually what they are fighting for. That's why it became very important that we begin to do this kind of teaching with the original document leading to the amalgamation of Nigeria. And I want to show you today that nothing has changed from that time till now. So when do you think something is going to change? If the British government could not solve the problem of northern Nigeria, is it P2B that is going to solve it? I want you to understand that the reason for amalgamation of Nigeria is because British government could not solve the problem of northern Nigeria. They invested billions and billions of pounds, yet they could not solve it. Do you understand? And when they could not solve it, what did they do? They pushed the problem to the southern Nigeria. Deal with it. And they left. In a very short and very brief explanation. The British, let me show you again. This is the problem. The whole of the problem you see today in Nigeria is here. I want to bring it to the screen very well. You see this text here is the problem you are facing today in Nigeria. The British could not solve the problem. What did they do? They push it to the south. They said, let me read it again. The North, largely dependent on the annual grant. Largely dependent on the annual grant from the imperial government, they say, was barely able to balance. The North was barely able to balance its budget. The same budget that they can never balance today. The same thing is happening now. And let me bring, bring this one. Let me show you. You see this thing that, you see here, the same thing that North did before the amalgamation of Nigeria is happening here.
The lawmakers expressed displeasure with the Registrar of the National Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies, Mohammed Abdullahi, over non-remittance of over 300 million naira revenue generated to the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
We were able to pay 30 million naira
out of this 410. To conduct an exams in a year, they are saying they have spent 380 something million. And we are here to collect another budget from the federal government. I haven't contributed just 35 million. And if they ask for their budget there, they'll be telling me in the region of 10 to 20 billion naira.
5,963 members of staff arranging for one examination in a year and being paid 8.5 billion and now generating only 410, out of which you remit only 35 billion. There is a need to look deeper into what this is about.
The committee resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate activities of the institution.
Now, they need to investigate deeper. If she knows the history of that comment, what is she going to investigate? If that woman knows the history of Nigeria, she would not make. This is really the problem, that these people can never. What is she going to investigate? It is because the British, they push it to the south, and now we have to now stand our ground and get ourselves out of this mess. Look at it. Let me read it again. The whole of Nigeria problem lies. The North largely dependent on the annual grant from the imperial government to balance its budget. They cannot balance its budget. Before 1914,
30 million
out of this 410. To conduct an exams in a year, they are saying they have, and we are here to collect another budget. I haven't contributed just 35 million. And if they ask for a region of 10 to 20 billion naira.
3 members of staff arranging for one examination, 8.5 billion, and
being paid 8.5 balanced the budget.
only 410, out of which
After pay, they generate $400,000. Is a complete loss. The same policy that they were doing before the amalgamation of Nigeria. Invest 80 billion, get 400 million naira in return. What kind of that? And this is the nature of every government department in Nigeria. Every sector of the government controls, even the one that the Southerners controls, because they have already that most of them now think like Fulanis, interested in siphoning the money, looting it, parasite. 2014, before that, these people cannot balance budget. You invest 8 billion and get 400 million. What do you expect to get? You expect to get the deteriorating state of the country, because it's not a nation.
you remit only 35 billion.
Okay.
Into what this is about.
The committee
To look deeper into what this is about. There is not bringing it to you to show you what this is. All about the fact that you are all non-entity. It is all about because you can't read your history. So that when you are being called, nobody can do anything. You say we are.
The lawmakers expressed displeasure board for Arabic and Islamic Studies, Mohammed Abdullahi, 300 million naira revenue generated to the consolidated
to feed such.
You know, what they are saying here is that over 400 million naira they generated. So the first 8 billion, 8 billion, 8 billion, and in return I've never seen anything like this. Okay, where you make investment to get 400 million, and in that 400 million they remitted only 35 million. Can you imagine? 165 million gone with nobody. Okay, so I want you to watch.
remittance of over 300 million naira revenue generated fund.
Who are able to feed such
of this 410 to conduct an exams in a year. They are saying they have spent 380 something million, and we are here to collect another. I haven't contributed just 35 million, and if they ask for their budget there, they'll be telling me
5,963 members of staff. Examination in a year and being paid 8.5 billion and now generating only 400 to remit only 35 billion. Look deeper into what this is about.
The committee resolved to set up an ad hoc Islamic Studies, Mohammed Abdullahi, with a non-remittance of over 300 million naira revenue generated to the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
Who are able to feed such.
And I want you people to understand that, you know, what they are saying here is that they refuse to generate over 400 million naira. They generated. So the federal government invested 8 billion. 8 billion. They invested 8 billion. And in return, they generated 400 million. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. Okay, where you make investment of 8 billion and only to get 400 million, and in that 400 million, they remitted only 35 million. Can you imagine? And 365 million gone, with nobody can account for it. I have to come from this particular perspective. The North don't have problem. To us is a problem. To the British government is a problem. But to them, it's not a problem. That is their way of life. You can't change it. So what we are saying is that this way of life is not compatible with us. So let us not see it as is a problem. Let us not see it as if Nigeria divide today and Biafra leave, North is going to suffer. No! It is us that we are going to be looking at them as if they are going to suffer. It is their nature. It is not a problem. So we must be able to, we have to be very, very, very blunt in telling this truth. That when we say it's a problem to, it's not a problem to them. I want you to understand that the people that conquered northern Nigeria are nomadic people. They don't live in house. They live in the bush. They live in the forest. They sleep with cows and sleep with animals. So you don't expect them to be progressive. That lifestyle they are living is progressive to them. Their religion is what they want. That is everything they need. They don't need to live in a glass house like you in the south, like me. They don't need to eat good food like you and like me. They don't need to have money like billions in their account like me and you, even though some of them now are having money and you can't see the money anywhere. They use it to purchase arms and ammunition to do terrorism. You can't see it anywhere. You can't see the money in their body. You can't see them wearing expensive clothes. You can't see them doing anything reasonable in any community. Because it is their lifestyle and their nature. But you in the south, if you have $1, people will know that you have $1. You are going to live good. You want to eat the best food. So when we are saying they have problem, they don't have problem. Now the same thing is repeating itself. And this woman is saying they are going to set ad hoc committee to look into the culture of people, to look into the way of life of people. How are you going to change that? Something that was there before 1914, and the culture have not changed, and it is now. You are going to change it? That is absurd. So let us read completely before, because this is very important. This is the most important section of this broadcast today. Now, I want you to understand, this thing continues. They say that I'm going to repeat it again because the repetition is something that is necessary in this kind of exposition. The North largely dependent on the annual grant from the imperial government. The same annual grant is going to the Islamic study today because it is a grant, it is not an investment. Was barely able to balance its budget with the most parsimonious economy and was starved of the necessary staff and unable to find funds to house its staff, its officers properly. The same thing the Islamic study have come to National Assembly to do. After 8 billion was spent, they could not pay 5,000 staff because they can't generate more than 400 million. The Northern and Islamic study. Its energies were concentrated upon the development of the native administration and the revenue resulting from the direct taxation. Its distance from the coast, 250 miles, rendered the expansion of the trade difficult. Two, the anomaly was presented of a country with an aggregate revenue practically equal to its need. Are you hearing that? And that time, the revenue, I want you people to understand that time, they say that its distance from the coast, 250 miles, rendered the expansion of trade difficult. Now, I want you people to understand that before 1914, they said the anomaly was presented of a country, which is from northern Nigeria, of a country with an aggregate revenue practically equal to its need. So what they say, what they are trying to tell you is that before 1914, the aggregate revenue of northern Nigeria is equal to its need. So which means if they generate 500 million, the need is 500 million. So they have nothing to offer. I want people to understand though, now in 2023, it is no longer that the aggregate revenue is equal to its need. No. The situation now is that when the need is 8 billion, the revenue is 400 million. I am telling you, it is here. So the situation is worse. It's times 1,000 worse than as it was before 1914. Today, in 1914, from the perspective of, from this particular perspective, what it should have been is that while the Islamic State Islamic study will be spending 8 billion annually. They will generate exact 8 billion. But today, they are spending 8 billion and they are generating 400 million. Not even 1 billion. Not even half, not even 1/4 of the amount invested. So, and this is the way it is going to go worse and worse and worse and worse at every year that come and pass by. And yet, some people don't calculate these things, how it has affected your hospitals, how it has affected your life, how you don't have good road, why the money is being wasted on people that are stagnant in life. People are not interested. You come to America, you live in America, and you are happy, you are supporting one Nigeria. Meanwhile, the money that should have been used to develop your own country to be like America, that you are living and bragging, is being used to sustain people that have nothing to offer, to sustain people that don't need the money, because the truth is that they don't need the money. It is only few people among them that need the money and they are rich, and they don't use that money to do anything in their own community. They can't build road in their own community. They can't build hospital in their own. They have absolutely nothing to contribute in their own community. They use the money to develop Arab countries. Not you. They use the money to fund terrorists. And you sit in America as an educated man. Your education is... Because if you cannot today, if you cannot think this logic, thing I'm thinking today objectively, to see the need for you to make a U-turn immediately and support Biafra government in exile, and let us move this mountain once and for all, then it means that your word and your years of education is wasted years. It is wasted years. If you are still expecting for P2B to win in court and come to do, you are a wasted human being. Honestly. Because what I'm doing here, when they say Samanepa is king of fake news, is what I'm doing on the fake news? No. Because those who will read that Samanepa is king of fake news never had the opportunity to listen to me when I make exposition. They never have the time to listen to me when I make sense and talk and analyze issues objectively. They never had the opportunity to listen. They just read in the news, Samanepa is king of fake news. I don't know which fake news I've carried. Now I'm here telling you a practical thing, that Northern Nigeria doesn't need money. Money is not their nature. Northern Nigeria does not need development. Development is not their nature. Because the people that have conquered them through terrorism, Usman Dan Fodio, they call them Fulani. It is here in British report. They say Fulani, and Fulani are nomadic. Nomadic doesn't live in a house. Nomadic they are not interested in development. And the Northern Nigeria have embraced them. And they have conquered them with terrorism. So you can't force people to be what they are not. Just like the way we cannot be Muslim, you can't force Northern Nigeria, especially the Fulanis, to begin to build towers in the north. You can't force them. It is impossible. Who is going to stay in tower? What are they going to do in tower? But we, in Biafra land, we are going to build tower. We need tower. We want development. We want to beautify our cities. We want our cities to look good. We want to live good life. So why are you forcing people to development that they are not? When they are telling you that we are eradicating innovation and we are embracing Sunai. It is there. We have posted that video before. This is it, the picture. Eradication of innovation and embracing Sunai. This is the agenda of the nomadic Fulanis. This is the agenda of the people ruling Nigeria from the north. So why would you be expecting them to build good road, build good hospital, and you want to go to north and you don't see people on the street begging for food? I want every Nigerian watching me today, those who are yet to be delivered, to understand that you can never change northern Nigeria. It is their nature. Do not pity them. Because I've heard all this kind of thing that, oh, if you go to northern Nigeria, you are going to pity them. Why are you pitying them? That is their nature of life. You don't need to go and start pitying somebody who is living his fullest life because of his nature. And because you are not like that, you are pitying them. Oh, in the north, people are dying, hungry everywhere. Children are begging for food. It is their nature to beg. But it is not you. It is not your nature. So we must understand our differences. We must understand where we are different culturally, and otherwise. And this lifestyle is one of the differences we have. That you cannot force a northern Nigeria person to be expecting big life. That's why when they are coming to your place, they carry kettle. They carry kettle and one bag. Because it is their life. When you are going to their place, you carry big bag. You carry everything. You carry good clothes and you want to go and stay in hotel. Have you seen a Fulani man coming to your place and stay in hotel? No. They will go to the bush where other Fulani people are staying. So why do you now worry about the people that are living like that? They are not the same thing with you. Yeah? I want us to, because this is very, very important. So now let us continue. Now, they said, its distance from this, okay, I've read this before, let us continue from there. Choose, the anomaly was presented of a country with an aggregate revenue practically equal to its need, but divided into two by an arbitrary line of latitude. One portion was dependent on a grant paid by the British taxpayer, which in the year before amalgamation, just in the year before amalgamation, stood at £136,000.
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.